Trouble ahead for SLS. NASA has made an important declaration about SpaceX's Starship. NASA's Artemis program has long been seen as the gateway to establishing a human presence on the Moon, with plans to use the Space Launch System, SLS, as its primary vehicle to carry astronauts, cargo, and critical components into lunar orbit and beyond. However, despite significant financial and technical investments, the SLS has struggled with delays and rising costs. In contrast, SpaceX's Starship, a reusable heavy-lift vehicle with ambitious interplanetary goals, has advanced rapidly in its development and promises a cost-effective alternative to traditional rocket systems. Recently, NASA made an important announcement that it is actively exploring how Starship could play a more substantial role in its Artemis and future missions. This announcement suggests a shift in NASA's strategy toward a more collaborative approach with commercial partners like SpaceX, raising important questions about the future role of the SLS and the potential implications for the Artemis program and other deep space exploration missions. This move signals the onset of an era in which traditional government-built spacecraft could coexist, or even be complemented by innovative, commercially developed systems. Understanding the SLS, ambitions and challenges. The SLS was initially conceived as NASA's flagship rocket for deep space missions, with capabilities far surpassing those of any existing launch vehicle. With its powerful core stage, SLS can produce 8.8 million pounds of thrust, exceeding that of the legendary Saturn V, making it one of the most powerful rockets ever designed. Its modular design allows for several configurations, with the Block 1 variant able to transport over 27 tons of cargo to lunar orbit. Later versions, such as the Block 2, will boast even greater capabilities for deep space exploration. However, the SLS has encountered a host of financial and technical hurdles since its inception. Originally scheduled for its first launch in 2017, the SLS program has seen repeated delays, with launch dates pushed back multiple times. The rising costs have drawn scrutiny, with the SLS program now exceeding initial budget estimates by billions of dollars. Additionally, the SLS is an expendable system, meaning each rocket is used only once, adding significantly to the per-launch cost. As of 2023, estimates suggest that each SLS launch could cost NASA around $2 billion, prompting discussions about its long-term viability and sustainability. Enter SpaceX's Starship, a disruptive alternative. SpaceX's Starship represents a fundamentally different approach to space exploration. Designed as a fully reusable rocket system, Starship consists of two stages, the Super Heavy booster and the Starship spacecraft. Together, they form a heavy-lift vehicle capable of transporting over 100 tons to low Earth orbit, with aspirations to carry humans to Mars and beyond. The promise of reusability lies at the heart of Starship's disruptive potential. By reusing the rocket for multiple flights, SpaceX aims to significantly reduce the cost of each mission, creating a model in which access to space becomes far more affordable and sustainable. Starship has demonstrated rapid developmental progress. Although it has yet to achieve a successful orbital flight, SpaceX has conducted several high-altitude test flights and is working to perfect its landing technology. NASA's decision to select Starship as the lunar lander for Artemis 3, the mission that aims to return humans to the lunar surface, was a bold endorsement of SpaceX's technology. This choice underscores Starship's potential role in NASA's Artemis program and beyond, raising the possibility that Starship might assume even broader responsibilities within NASA's mission architecture. NASA's important declaration, a shift toward commercial partnerships. In a recent announcement, NASA highlighted a shift in its strategic approach by emphasizing the potential integration of Starship into more aspects of its Artemis program. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson stated that while the SLS remains an essential part of NASA's early Artemis missions, the agency is increasingly open to commercial collaboration, particularly with partners like SpaceX, to achieve its deep space exploration goals. This announcement signifies an important change in NASA's stance, as the agency recognizes the advantages of leveraging commercially developed technologies to achieve its objectives more affordably and efficiently. NASA's partnership with SpaceX began to deepen in recent years, particularly with the award of the Human Landing System, HLS, contract for the Artemis 3 mission, wherein Starship is set to deliver astronauts from lunar orbit to the Moon's surface. NASA's recent statement, however, goes beyond the SLS contract and suggests that Starship could be used not only for lunar landings but also for a broader range of functions, such as delivering cargo to the lunar surface, providing crew transportation, and supporting Mars exploration. This pivot reflects NASA's acknowledgement that commercial solutions may offer unique advantages over government-developed systems. SLS and Starship, complementary or competitive forces. NASA's declaration raises important questions about how the SLS and Starship might coexist, or even compete, within the Artemis program and other long-term exploration plans. The SLS was designed to carry astronauts and cargo into deep space, and its expendable design was considered necessary to deliver the necessary payloads for human exploration missions. However, as Starship continues to develop and show promise as a reusable, lower-cost option, some experts and stakeholders are questioning whether SLS's role could be diminished over time. For the initial Artemis missions, SLS will remain essential. The launch vehicle is set to play a key role in delivering the Orion spacecraft and its crew to lunar orbit for the Artemis II mission. But as the Artemis program advances, the cost savings and logistical flexibility offered by Starship's reusability might prove difficult to ignore. NASA has indicated that it may consider using Starship for more cost-effective logistics and support missions, freeing the SLS for only the most critical tasks. In this context, SLS and Starship may eventually serve as complementary assets, with SLS reserved for crewed missions that require direct NASA oversight and Starship used for supplementary support, cargo delivery, and potentially crew transportation. This dual approach could help NASA maximize the value of its budget while enabling a higher launch frequency to support sustained lunar exploration and, ultimately, Mars missions. Challenges and hurdles for Starship and SLS alike. While Starship offers promising capabilities, it is still in the developmental phase and faces significant technical and regulatory challenges. SpaceX has yet to achieve a successful orbital test flight, and Starship's capabilities in areas like crew safety, life support, and long-duration missions must be rigorously tested to meet NASA's standards. Additionally, regulatory challenges have slowed SpaceX's progress, with delays in securing FAA approval for orbital launches from its Texas site. SLS, on the other hand, faces challenges related to its cost and expendability. As a single-use vehicle, the SLS's high cost per launch places financial constraints on NASA's budget, potentially limiting the frequency of Artemis missions and other long-term exploration efforts. These financial concerns have prompted NASA to reevaluate its commitment to SLS as the sole option for deep space exploration and consider the possibility of using Starship for additional missions. NASA's recent announcement signals that the agency is willing to take a calculated risk by investing in Starship while still maintaining the SLS as a primary asset. This dual strategy reflects NASA's recognition of the rapidly changing landscape of space exploration, where commercial partners can offer valuable capabilities that align with NASA's goals. Broader implications for deep space exploration. NASA's shift toward a public-private model of exploration has implications that extend beyond the Artemis program. By embracing Starship and fostering greater collaboration with SpaceX, NASA is pioneering a new model for space exploration, one that is more cost-effective, sustainable, and responsive to technological advancements. If Starship achieves its goal of rapid reusability, NASA could dramatically reduce the cost of lunar and Mars missions, making long-term human presence in space a more feasible reality. Starship's cost savings could enable NASA to redirect resources toward other mission-critical areas, such as scientific research, habitat development on the Moon, and Mars exploration technology. This public-private collaboration could accelerate timelines for human exploration of Mars, reduce the financial burden on NASA, and establish a sustainable presence in deep space sooner than previously thought possible. Conclusion. A new era of exploration and innovation. NASA's recent declaration about Starship's role in the Artemis program marks a pivotal moment in the history of space exploration. While the SLS remains a powerful and essential component of NASA's deep space exploration arsenal, the growing reliance on Starship indicates a shift toward a more collaborative, economically sustainable approach to achieving NASA's ambitious space goals. With Starship's cost-effective design and reusability, NASA is exploring new possibilities for lunar and Mars exploration that were previously constrained by budget limitations and the single-use nature of SLS. This new era of exploration promises to be marked by unprecedented collaboration between government and private industry, where the strengths of traditional space programs are complemented by the innovation and cost efficiency of commercial partners. Together, SLS and Starship may unlock the potential for humanity to establish a sustainable presence on the Moon and lay the groundwork for the first human missions to Mars, paving the way for an era of discovery and exploration that was once only a distant dream.